Hello and welcome to today's track guide at Silverstone. Today I'm going to be driving the 2018 Bentley Continental GT3, and as we head down to the first corner we want to look out for this board on the left here. Brake just a little bit before it and don't brake too hard. Coast a little bit, use all the curbing on the right, but don't go too far across or you'll hit the bumps and it'll mess you up. Do not run too wide on the exit or you will get an invalid lap, which is not what you want. Now we head to Maggots and Beckett's. Use all this curbing on the left, just avoid that sausage curb on the grassy side. Use all the curbing on the right again. You need to tap off a little bit through here though. You use all of that, then end up on the left side of the circuit again. You want to brake in a straight line just before this corner, drop it down to third, use all this checkered curbing on the left. Get to the left again, start tapping off, getting yourself back to the right. You can use all this curbing here, maybe some of the AstroTurf if you need, but if you use too much you might get bumped around a little bit. Use this curbing on the left again. And now we're through there. We get onto a straight, we can breathe a little bit. That was one of the harder parts of the track so far. So now we head down to the next corner and we want to look out for where the curbing starts on the left side. Just here, brake just before it starts, right about here. Aim sort of towards the apex, but make sure to actually hit the apex late. Accelerate about halfway through the corner and do not run too wide on this corner, or once again you'll get an invalid lap. Now we look for where the curbing starts on this side on the right, brake fractionally before it again. Start trail braking, do not hit that sausage curb or your lap will be over, but use all this checkered curbing. Back to the left, and you want to use a lot of this curbing on the right here, maybe some of the Astro as well. Run out wide, but I don't recommend running out onto the curbing here, it seems to slow you down a little bit. You want to cut right across here, do not hit the sausage curb again, that'll stuff you up, but use the flat curbing and keep it on the track. In this corner you want to stay in fourth gear, and just after the curbing, the AstroTurf on the left starts there, you want to turn in and you can use a lot of the curbing on the inside. Shouldn't upset the car too much in this car. Run wide, then do not run on this curbing. I've had issues where it flicks me around, I don't want that to happen, so I avoid it. Then look for where the curbing starts here, brake pretty much alongside it. And another situation where you want to avoid that sausage curb, but use all the flat curb and pull back to the right and aim sort of towards the middle. There's a bit of curbing on the right that starts, you want to brake pretty much alongside that. Avoid the sausage curb again, use the flat curb, run wide, don't get yourself onto this curb. I mean, you can go into the Astro and exit, it's a bit flatter, and then foot flat through here. And we're nearly at the end now, just a couple more turns to go. There's a sign on the right, you want to start aiming towards the corner and then brake in a straight line. And then start turning, trail braking, use a bit of the curbing on the inside again, and start accelerating in second gear. And you can go straight towards the apex on the final corner, drift out a little bit, and then as you get through the corner you want to start accelerating again and hit another late apex. And then you can use all the track, even a bit of curbing if you need. And then from here on it's foot flat until the finish line. And on this lap I do a time of a 1:56.2, I believe. Yep, that's correct. And if I avoided a few more mistakes on that lap, I could have gotten to the 55s, which would have been ideal. But
welcome to the Good Buyers YouTube channel, home of motorsport. a race.
In the wet then. We did that session 4, he wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but he was a second off from what you showed.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. That is free practice done. Now it's time to get stuck into qualifying. Hello and welcome. It's round 2 of this new KRL season number 3, the British GT Championship. And it is Tier 1. We saw plenty of action last night for Tier 2. Tonight it's Tier 1 alongside me. Hello to you, Nemo. Thank you. He says, hey, boys, alongside me tonight to talk you right through this endurance race. 1 hour. That's right, 1 hour. So we've got a big night of action coming up. Is Bullseye Bob Hoskins. Welcome to you, Bob. Good evening.
Good evening, Trevor. How are we this evening?
Absolutely fantastic. Thanks for asking. And alongside him is the man who's reporting, Bob, from the, he's live inside the cockpit of the racing car. He's racing tonight. Jason Wilkinson, a two-time champion. Good evening to you, Wilco.
Hello, hello. Yes, I couldn't keep away from a racetrack and a race car, so yeah, back for this week and got my vaccine and I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Dry quali, nice.
Dry qualifying.
Not nice, really, but.
Well, there was a hint.
So did your phone reception improve with your injections?
Yeah, 100%. I can hear my radio when I'm on the other side of the track, which is always a positive, so yeah, should be good.
It's done nothing for my internet connection. We dropped out 6 times last night on the PlayStation Network. But anyway, fingers crossed tonight is going to be better than that. And I think we've got the safety car driver with us, Cameron Norris, all the way over there in South Australia. Voodoo, evening to you, Nigerian Prince.
Evening. I've got my dollar bills ready for the predictions. See who we can send to the Shadow Realm so I can bring the safety car out.
And that's something we must discuss with you, Wilco, as well. We're thinking of opening some betting markets for the KRL Championship, but we'll get to that a little bit later on because the cars are on track for qualifying. And Bob, this is going to be very, very close, this qualifying session. If last night's anything to go by, names like Barters, Binger, who's been a little bit off the pace. We've got Brian back, the anti-vaxxer. We're going to have a pretty close, exciting session on our hands here tonight.
Yeah, with it being dry as well, it's a bit of a level playing field for everyone out there. So yeah, I'd expect to see some pretty decent times tonight.
And there we go, 8.5 minutes, only a 10-minute session tonight. We're taking a look at Barters, every car out on the circuit. We'll keep an eye. I think Barters is at the head of this pack, isn't he, going off the track map there? So no rain at the moment. Track temperature 21 degrees, air temperature a little bit the same way. No wind at all here tonight. So very clear conditions, but you never know what can happen around this Silverstone circuit. We are in the UK. And which I think this track is between 2 counties, is it not, Bob? Is it Northamptonshire or Buckinghamshire? Am I on the right track there?
It's just outside Northampton. Yeah, you're making me look like a bit of a buffoon now.
We'll go with that. That's okay. We do know it's a former World War II airfield, like a lot of these tracks are. But
Yes.
Fantastic stuff. Look at these corners. Maggots, Beckett's onto Hanger Straight now. And here comes Barters. He should be the first. Or is there somebody ahead of Barters out on the track there? I'm not too sure who that is. We've got the new boy. And Butler. Thank you, Butler. There we have it. And that safety rating improving all the time. He did pick up points last night, Bob. He is a newcomer to this championship. So great looking stuff there. Beautiful livery on that Mercedes. Righty in the Pink Panther there, not out on the track, which is interesting. Very interesting. We'll wait and see what he can do. Maybe he's just waiting for a bit of a break in the traffic. Plenty of passing opportunities around this circuit. And Aussie Thunder, who ended up, where did he end up last night? I think it might have been P4, I think, for Thunder. His tyres went off a little bit towards the end of the race, of course. A 1 hour race. So these drivers, Bob, all about concentration. We had the sprint rounds last week, but this week it's all about concentrating for the entire 1 hour race. And it's not always easy to do, is it?
No, you do see certain people, they seem to fade at about the half hour or just past the half hour mark. It's, purely to just got themselves into, like a body clock of, race is over, and then, you have a few calamities.
There we have it, John coming across the line to start what must be his quick lap. Dazzler, hey guys, he was with us last night for Tier 2. He's back with us for Tier 1 tonight. Dazzler, big hello to you, and hope you enjoy this race. Sit back and enjoy the action. Plenty ahead of us. 6 minutes left in qualifying and followed by the 1 hour race. As Barters setting a quick time early in the 81 Lamborghini, a 1:59.1. What times are we looking at here, Bullseye, for pole position? Is that going to be close? Is that going to go close to pole tonight?
No, there's going to be a lot of improvement on that, I would imagine. I would expect to see the boys sort of low 58s.
Ooh, that's going to be very quick indeed as we see these times starting to tumble. Branchy half a second slower than the 59.1, but the times are going to tumble. GRT, oi! He says, hi guys, the winner, the Tier 2 winner from last night, GRT. Great to have your company as well here tonight for Tier 1. And what an eventful race it was for GRT. He had an incident on lap 1 and managed to fight his way back through the field to take victory by about 7 or 8 seconds in the end. So great to have your company, GRT. Sit back, we've got plenty of action coming your way. John, 2/10 slower than the 1:59. So there we have it, Barters, John and Branchy. Who else is on a quick lap? We've got the anti-vaxxer, is it, coming across the line? Brian? No, he's almost there. Let's have a look here. Wilco in the number 1 McLaren. Look at that. And a very Wilco style livery tonight. The blues, the dark bluish colour, very Wilco-esque. And he's doing very nicely indeed. A bit of a wide line. Let's see what he can do. Is he, we won't, a bit of a correction there, almost getting it wrong. We won't throw it out to him. Is he coming across the line to complete a hot lap? Let's have a look. He comes across now, and it's only good enough for 7th. So he'll have another go, though. Plenty of time left in this session, depending, though, if you've already set a lap. And now Righty's finally out on the circuit in the pink Ferrari. And what are the corner limits, the track limits like around here? We see a few drivers just putting a wheel onto the just on the outside of the track. Is it just to the curb or is it beyond the curb? Bob, is it strict around here, the corner cutting rules, or not?
It is pretty strict. There's a couple of little places that catch you out, though, that you feel that you're still within the limits and you get pinged, and it's just where Wilco's coming through now.
And there we have it. So we've got 2 McLarens, first and second. Look at that, Matterford. And you were spot on, Bob. 1:58.9 is Matterford going off the track. I think he'll return to the pit lane in that sort of Golf McLaren style livery, isn't it, that we saw with the McLaren F1 team at Monaco. Very beautiful looking livery, the light blue and the orange, as Prince Albert now, who didn't know why I called him Prince Albert, and he was a little bit worried, but we confirmed that, and we put that one to bed tonight. So he comes down hanger straight now, heading towards Stowe, the famous corners, and I'm sure you would have seen plenty of famous British victories around here, Bob, in your time. Nigel Mansell, was it in 92, I think? When he couldn't even make it back to the pit lane, could he? The crowd broke ranks, as Murray Walker says, and he was an absolutely fantastic winner. And here comes Albert, of course. He needs to find 1/10 of a second, Bob. And what's he done? No, he's done nothing because he's not there yet, is he?
Wilco is on a flyer.
Let's have a look. Wilco now on an absolute flyer. Is it going to be good enough? He needs 1.1 1.8814. It's good enough for fourth. So we've got 3 McLarens. 3 out of the top 5 are McLarens, so they're very quick around here. And the Lamborghinis of John and Barters rounding out the top 5. Then it is a Bentley of Branchy. Pretty good form, actually, so far this season. But we're just going to quickly go to the championship standings. Of course we are. And it's Prince Albert on 30 points. Barters in second on 22. Brian on 14. 10 apiece for Branchy and Aussie Righty on 9. And then it's 8 apiece for Binger and Static. The Boss on 4. Good Vibes on 1 point. We'll get back to the action because this is where it's at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And going on the track map, we'll have a look at Branchy here. Currently down in, where is Branchy on there? Down in P6, so 0.8 of a second off the pace at the moment. Nothing between the two teammates at the top. 8 and 9, McLaren and McLaren. Both into the 158s. Here comes Matterford again. Can he go quicker? No. And we're down to less than a minute in qualifying. Get your comments coming in. We would love to hear from you here with 50 seconds now to go. We've got a yellow flag out. No, someone's back in the pits. So we've got Aussie Thunder in the pits along with Binger. Barters there too. And who can we see, Bob, going quicker here in the last 30 seconds or so? I'm just having a look to see who's going to make it around in time.
Brian is up.
So let's have a look at Brian. 1.9 seconds off the pace. Currently sitting in P10 here. And will he make it? I don't think he's going to make it for another lap. Yellow flag, so I think a few of these drivers calling it quits here, Bob, I reckon, with a few seconds left in the session. But here comes Bullseye Brian. Isuzu Brian, 86 in the Bentley. Lovely looking piece of machinery. That 3, 2, 1. And that is qualifying done. I think we've got Brian on a lap and potentially another couple. I'm just looking at the track map here who are also on laps. Wilco and Matterford, I believe. But we'll take a look at Brian coming across the line. Here he goes, using every bit of the track, going the shortest way to the line. And has he improved? I think he...
2 positions.
So he's improved by 2 positions. Let's take a look at Wilco now. I think he might have Matterford ahead of him. Yep, so we'll keep an eye on Matterford. So these are the last 2. And Wilco needs to find a bit over 0.3 of a second here. Matterford already has pole position now, Bob. Just a question to see whether he can go quicker and put it out of reach of Wilco, but not a betting man. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here as he comes around the final corner. We see drivers taking various different lines around this corner, the old final corner, and he's pulled out of the lap. Interesting stuff. So it's down to 1 now. So Matterford is not going to improve on his time. And can we see whether is Wilco up on his delta this lap, is he?
I can't see. I can't go in car to see.
So we might see whether we can jump in and ride on board with this man. He's up by 0.2 of a second. He needs about 0.3 if he's going to trouble the scorers up there and trouble Matterford for P1. Let's have a look. Let's ride helmet cam now. Here he comes. He's still 1/10 of a second up on his delta. His best time of a 1:59.229. He needs to find 3/10 of a second. It's looking very nice at the moment. A little bit of oversteer.
Last corner.
Last corner. Here he comes across the line, and I don't think he's going to go better. Let's have a look. No. And he stays in P4. Well, you're up there by a couple of tenths, Wilco, but was it that last corner that did it for you?
Yeah, and coming onto the Wellington Straight, just lost a little bit of time there. But yeah, that was intense. What's that? 7 cars within 8/10. That's spicy. I like it.
Very nice indeed. And that is the end of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Let's recap. If you're just joining us, it is McLaren P1, McLaren P2, Matterford and Alberto with a front row lockout here at Silverstone. Barters in 3rd. Wilco could not improve on that final qualifying run. He's in 4th. John, Righty, Branchy and Brian and Butler and Binger. So a lot of B's in there, but Binger in P10, Aussie Thunder in P11, and the Nigerian Prince who is driving the safety car tonight. He's down there in P12 and just waiting like I am with the safety car graphics. If anything happens and we need the safety car, we will call Voodoo on the Nigerian 1-800 Nigerian Prince to get him out onto the track. So that is qualifying done and dusted. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere because we'll be back with the 1 hour race. That's right here from Silverstone for Tier 1. It's round 2 of Season 3. This is KRL. Back right after this.
Welcome to the Kid Buyers YouTube channel, the home of motorsport. Than a race.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are racing here at Silverstone in the opening round of the Tier 2 season. That's going to be one for the highlight reel, that's for sure.
boys. Good luck, boys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost ready to go racing. Matterford and Albert will lead the field away. Barters right up alongside these two. Wilco as well. And look at this, just setting the pace out front before a 1 hour of racing action. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get underway here for round 2 of Tier 1 at Silverstone. Here we go. Matterford and Albert there, setting the pace. You know the drill, stay in your own lane. As we get ready to go, not this line. I made that mistake last night. It's the next one, isn't it? As we get underway here, 12 people watching. Leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from right around the world. Here we go. It's going to be action. Green light. Go, go, go for the 1 hour race here. Round 2 of Tier 1 for Season 3 of the British GT Championship, and Matterford holds the lead at the start. Albert putting pressure on him. Wilco's made a place up already, jumping Barters off of the start. That Marshall there waving the flag. That's right, Dazzler, it is go, go, go through Maggots and Beckett's for the first time. And it is Matterford holding the lead. Albert in second. Barters has lost third place to Wilco, but he's right up alongside him here, riding up into fifth. And then it's Binger down the back, Brian, and it looks like everybody, thankfully, Bullseye has got away cleanly here.
Yeah, no, it was nice and clean. And Barder's, he's all over the place there. He was having a bit of a tank slapper moment there. But, yeah, he could have ruined Wilco's race very early on, but lifted nicely through T1 and filtered in behind him. But yeah, nice and clean all the way through from what I've seen so far.
And somebody knocking off a cone there at the back. Maybe
Branchy.
Might have been Branchy there, but so here we have it, not even through lap 1, and it is so close here. Wilco bearing down, putting all sorts of pressure on to Albert. And you can see he's all over his teammate. Too early to say this, I know, Bob. But could we see some team orders? Matterford, is he quick enough? Albert looks very racy, doesn't he? Right behind him there, under pressure from Wilco as well. And if they keep squabbling, could give Wilco, Barters, and also John, I think it is, behind them a chance here. But Matterford still maintains the lead. Wilco getting very racy there, Bob. Matterford puts the wheel onto the grass. Is he going to keep it on the track? He sure is, but maybe that's going to give Albert a run as we come through to complete lap 1. And the positions are, it is Matterford, and then ahead of Albert. Race control, pit lane is open. Wilco not too far behind him. Barters losing a place off the start line. He's in fourth. Then John, have we got some action? Something going on?
Sorry, it was just Matterford ran really wide, and he managed to gather it up and not lose much time at all.
And there we have it.
That would have been a track warning.
Might be a warning there, Aussie Thunder. Where is your man Dazzler? Here he is. As the British director catches up. Here we go, on to Hanger Straight. You can see there, not just at the front. You can see Dazzler saying, go, Aussie, go. He's 7/10 behind Isuzu. Brian Branchy, right, he's dropped a place there. Not sure what happened there. He was up to 5th, right off the start line in the pink Ferrari. No missing him, that's for sure. And Binger down the back of the pack. So not sure whether Binger's been involved in some action or not in the opening lap in a bit, but he is down the back of the field. As we have right back at the front, we've still got Matterford and Albert. Wilco, they're still in third, so things starting to settle down at the moment. 56 minutes remaining in this race. It's a long way to go here for round number 2. We have the sprint round last week, and it's the endurance round this week. 12 beautiful people watching us. Let's see if we can get to 13, if you don't mind. But lap number 1, and what's happened to Albert? He's down in 4th. We've missed something. I've missed something here, Bob, because Albert down in 4th. Lost 2 positions. What happened there?
I don't know. I was looking for a replay to see what happened to Binger.
He had a massive moment through
There was
Cox.
a tangle.
Abbey, sorry. Massive
There was a
moment.
tangle with
Saved it.
Brian.
Well, there we have it. Voodoo keeping us updated. Thank you as well. Binger had a brief moment with Brian on lap 1, but thankfully pointing in the right direction. Thank you for that, Voodoo. Your Nigerian prince with the dollar bills at the ready. But 55 minutes remaining. Can Albert get back up into P2 where he started? But Wilco now into P2, and then Barters, who's sticking with this leading pack at the moment as well. And John still down there in 5th, and Branchy now. So the top 5 sort of dropping the final 5 in this race, you could say, by 3 or so seconds, but still plenty of action further down the field. Brian right up behind his teammate. No team orders there, that's for sure. Thunder up there with him, and Binger. So it's pretty much 2 by 2 by 2, sort of. Very much a Noah's Ark kind of race, and Ridey is down at the back as well. So something's happened with Ridey there, which we've missed. But lap 2 of this race, Matterford showing all sorts of composure out here in P1, because he's got a 2-time champion. That's right, 2-time champion bearing down on him now in Jason Wilkinson. It's less than a second. And boy, you could throw a hanky, couldn't you, Bob, over the top 5, really. It's so close, isn't it, between these top 5 guys?
Yeah, it is. The first gap really is back to Branchy, and then it's all close again for another 3 or 4 cars. So hopefully we'll see Binger make up some ground and get back onto that train. You know, he is normally very consistent, so it's not beyond him.
Just see, he's got Ridey behind him there, about a second or so behind, but 3.7, so he is gaining on Aussie Thunder, who's in a bit of a squabble here. He's got front row seats to this battle between Branchy and Brian. Hello, lovelies! Yes, why did I even try to do that with Bullseye in the party? I do not know, but here we are, because Aussie Thunder, it is lap 3 now. Dazzler, your man in P8. Can't quite remember. He was on for a podium last night, I think, Bob, before his tyres went off towards the end of the race. Voodoo, Nigerian Prince update. Righty had his spin in sector 2 on lap number 2, but he had no damage. Thank you for that, Voodoo. It is great to have these updates from the great man. Voodoo, Branchy! Is that Branchy off the track, I think, or is it Brian? I'm not too sure.
It was Branchy.
It was Branchy, and we just saw him there. It's a difficult sequence of corners, that one. If you lose it through Maggots and Beckett's, you lose it in a big way, don't you, Bob? And there's no coming back from that. Where is he? He's back on the track just ahead of Binger, so he had a huge moment there.
Yeah, no, that's as soon as you lose it there, it's very hard to hold on to it. It only takes like a sniff of one of the curbs in the wrong spot, and yeah, the car goes light, and it's good night.
It is good night, but Branchy's still in it, so he hasn't dropped quite to the back of the field. But we are going to get back to P1. That sounds like a baby crying. Tay, you should be in bed. It is 8:35 here on the eastern seaboard. A little bit earlier where you are there, Bob. A little bit earlier for you, Voodoo, as well. But never mind about that. Lap 3. Because it is, and we've got Wilco. Has Wilco had a moment? Dropping down the order, down to P5. We've missed something.
Yeah, massive moment at Stowe. I just caught it, then went side by side to the next few corners with Albert and Barters, and then John fired up the inside. But yeah, that was pretty scary.
Pretty intense, that's for sure. We won't call you. You can call us, Wilco, because you are under all sorts of pressure here. Had a moment then. You heard that from our 2-time champion, resident champion, Jason Wilkinson. Says this is going to be his only race, we believe. We've heard that before, but he says this is a one-off appearance. Not sure what the appearance fee is, but he's down in 4th. I did say 5th, but it is 4th, I beg your pardon. And he's back behind Albert, isn't he, where he was sort of at the start of the race. 9 minutes gone. Plenty of time to go here at Silverstone. Lap number 4 of this race, and it is Matterford down, Hanger Straight, and Barters up to 2nd, Bob, and he's pretty much kept his nose clean now and finds himself in 2nd place.
Yeah, so the car looked a little bit loose for him on the earlier laps. Maybe it was just the pressures and she was a little bit twitchy, but he seems to have gathered it up now. He is pulling a little bit back on Madaford, which is good to see because it did look as if he was going to make a run for it. But it's keeping the fight alive for, this gaggle of 5 cars at the moment.
1.7 seconds, you're right. He is keeping him honest up there in P1. Is this man Bardas in second, Albert in P3, under a lot of pressure from Jason at the moment, but if anyone can handle that, it is the Spanish prince indeed, or the King of Spain as we like to call him. Wilco in fourth after his moment at Stowe. John down there still in P5. Brian, who had Branchy for company, no longer. Thunder up to 7th, Branchy down to 8th after his moment on the previous tour. Righty, here we go. We've got some action, Bob, because Righty in that very, very pink Ferrari says, you know what, Binger? I'm going to go down the inside here and basically fully send it. Is he going to fully send it? Yes. That is close. Sends Binger a little bit wide. Hello to you, Nemo. Great to have you with us, Nemo. Very, very late over there in New Zealand, so don't go to bed too late. But if you do, keep watching the stream because Binger versus Righty. He almost had him, Bob. He almost had him, but now, is he going to do a Lewis Hamilton here and put a nose down the inside? No. And nice stuff from Righty, says Nemo. John into the pit lane. Thank you, Voodoo. But look at this. You've got to have a big pair of balls to put it down the inside and pass. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. But he's off the track. He's off the track, Bob. Wow. Look at this battle between Righty and Binger. And Righty's out in front. Is that a little bit controversial there? Did he go across that curb? I don't know.
He did cut it. But to be honest, I don't see that he's really gained a great deal. Binger had actually come round one of the previous corners absolutely sideways, so that's where the position was actually lost. So yeah, I think these boys will just crack on and try and chase the boys down.
There we have it. So Binger had to concede that position. Righty is through, then up to P8, now off in pursuit of Branchy as Dazzler. Big Dazzler. Oh! Rest in peace, Darrell Eastlake. What is the percentage of rain tonight? Bob, I'm not sure whether we can see that, but I don't think, is it 30 minutes or so? We can see ahead of time. We have some cloud cover, but not sure if we're going to get a sprinkle here tonight, are you?
I can't see it myself. 30 minutes time, it's saying it's dry. There's only 2 k's of wind, so yeah, I can't see this weather materialising, which will make the Lambo boys very
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that's right. But we do have Voodoo, who can cast some sort of spell or some sort of magical rain dance. We'll get back to him. But Dazzler, if you're kind enough in the comments, maybe just flick Voodoo a message and we'll see what he can do. But lap number 6, and this is getting very, very close indeed, because Bardas is right up behind Madaford now. And is he going to get a run down the hanger straight heading towards Stowe here? And Voodoo says, practice earlier tonight was very wet, but I'm doing the rain dance now. I'm going, and there we have it. We'll leave it there because this is the battle for the lead. Bullseye. Bardas wants to get through, but where can he get through on this track? Where are the best opportunities for Bardas to make this move?
I think he's just going to have to get in the tow and then just late on the brakes. There's so many sections here in Silverstone to make a move. It's just the level of risk that you're willing to take.
As we see Binger now in the pit lane. Not a bad move. 3 wide through this corner.
Nearly 3 abreast.
Nearly 3 abreast. And he's going around the outside, but he's also got Albert to contend with. And anything that Bardas can do, Albert can do better, along with Madaford as well, I reckon. But look at this first, second, third, and fourth all together. And how close is this? Not even a second covering the top 4. Where else? And Albert, is he going to hang it around the outside and make a move here? Don't forget about Jason Wilkinson after his moment. Wilco right back in the thick of the action here with 46, 45. 45 minutes remaining. Matterford holds the lead, but for how long? And these boys, they've got to focus on what's happening ahead of them, Bob, but they can't afford to make any mistake here because it is so close, isn't it, in the top 4?
Yeah, if it stays this close, Maggots and Beckett's is going to become more and more dangerous to all of them. That front end wash through there, yeah, that's where some people could come unstuck later on.
And here we have it.
Albert's got a run here.
Albert has a run on Barters. Wilco has front row seats to this. Front row seats, nearly right in the front seat there of Barters' car. Wilco, you look like you just almost pitched a brake there or something. But now Barters, attack. Albert stays on the inside. Wilco getting very interested as well. Did they touch, Bob? There was a bit of a nudge. Was that a bit of argy-balgy there, Bob?
There was a gentle kiss. What Barters was trying to do was force Albert to take certain lines to open him up. He managed to open him up, and then there was just a gentle kiss. Obviously, no places lost or gained, so nothing to worry about there, in my opinion.
This is too close to call, too close for comfort at the moment. It is Matterford and Albert, 1 and 2, just how they started off the grid for this race, as Bullmeister says, go my boy Matterford, go, 1.3 seconds in the lead, and with Albert, Barters and Wilco squabbling, that has given Matterford a chance to skip on further down the road a little bit, but these boys still right behind him, Albert, and then it's Barters and then Wilco, and it looked as though Wilco was going to make a cheeky move on Barters a few corners ago, but electing not to, and Albert now, he's the man under pressure then, Matterford 1.6 ahead of him, and I know Brian's 5 seconds further down the road, but it is impossible to take our eyes off this battle at the front, isn't it, Bob? And has someone gone off? No. I thought I saw someone kick up some dust, but I was mistaken there. And now Wilco. This looks good for Wilco. He's got a run on Barters here, Bob. Down the hanger straight into Stowe. Can he get this move done?
Oh, Barters' positioning. It's forcing Wilco's hand.
Very close indeed. And very nice positioning of that Lamborghini there. We know the Lambo is pretty good in a straight line, Bob, but he just did everything he needed to there, Barters. He made that car as wide as it needed to be, and Wilco could not make the move stick. Brilliant driving. But now what's going on here? Matterford and Albert, that looks closer than 1.6 seconds, doesn't it? It's down to 1.3. It looks even closer than that, and Barters again, very much in a McLaren sandwich. 3 out of 4 in the top 4 are McLarens, and there's the sole Lamborghini, 1 of 2 in this race, along with John, who has made his pit stop, as well as Binger, my Bingerling, and then it's Ridey at the back of the pack. Still, look at this Ridey making a move on Thunder, you betcha. He gets it done there. So perfect timing on the cameras there, Bob. Ridey up to 7th now. And he is ahead of Aussie Thunder. Lap 8 of this race, Albert.
Oh, Binger.
And has Binger done something there? We've got a yellow flag out. I think it's Binger. It's at a very quick part of the track.
Pulled up.
And that could be all for Binger tonight. As there we have it. So we've lost Binger. So just 9 drivers remaining. Similar to last night for Tier 2. Which means we will get everybody who completes at least 75% of this race, Bob, will get points. We believe those are the KRL rules. But great to have everybody watching here.
Wilco.
And Wilco, that's something happened to Wilco there. The camera hasn't quite caught up. And
I'll give you an 8.7 for that, Wilco, because you just went into the grass.
I clipped the curb and got massive air. Monoed.
So there we have it,
Still
lap
time.
9 of this race. Wilco reporting live from the cockpit of that number 1 McLaren. And a little bit of an incident there, getting some airtime. And he's managed to get it all back pointing the right way. So how far are you behind Brian? About a second or so. So not the end of the world, Wilco, but you never know. We've seen GRT last night, of course, in Tier 2, who went completely off the road on lap 1 and managed to fight his way back through the field. So that is the equation there in front of Jason Wilkinson and the whole family down there in Scoresby, Victoria, including Big Shep, who hasn't checked in so far tonight. Hope Shep's doing okay there. Regional Victoria out of lockdown, of course, barring the Greater Shepparton region. So that means Big Shep's still very much in lockdown, but we are thinking of you guys down there in Melbourne. But lap number 9, look at this. Look how close it is at the front, Bob. And is Albert going to have a look? Matterford runs wide. That could give Albert a chance here.
Yeah, Albert's looking a bit itchy at the moment. He's been climbing over the back of Matterford for quite some time, so I would expect to see him make a move in the next lap or so.
Here we go, Matterford then in the lead, but for how long? If Voodoo can look into his crystal ball and let us know his predictions of what is going to happen in this race. And look at this, Albert, right up behind the King of Spain, is getting very close indeed. And just 0.2 of a second between these two. Thank you, Bruce. But look at this, Barnes up into third down. Hanger straight again. And is Albert close enough? I don't think he is going to be close enough. He's trying to get out of that slipstream. Look at that. He's so close at the moment, but he's not going to get it done, is he? As we've got breaking news, Wilco and Aussie to the pit lane. So Wilco's come to the pit lane after that incident, which is pretty clever, getting his pit stop done and dusted. And so is Aussie. And your man Dazzler into the pit lane. Lap number 10 of this race. 38 minutes remaining. Do not go anywhere. Plenty of action. And what are these? What are the top 3 guys going to do? Is it worth coming into the pits, Bob? Getting some clear air, getting your pit stop done, or what do you reckon is the best way to go about it tonight?
It all depends. If you feel like you're being held up, yeah, you're better off pitting. You know, if you just can't get that last move done, you're better off pitting and getting it out of the way. However, I know Albert does seem to like leaving his pit stops really late and just, you know, starting heavy on fuel and taking just a splash. Yeah, it's hard to call. It's you know, it can swing both ways. And I mean, where would he pop out on the track now if he was to pit?
Very good question indeed. Looking at those times, he might come out in some traffic possibly, and that's something you definitely don't want. Update from Voodoo, the Nigerian prince, who says John came out just in front of Wilco with the early pit stop, the undercut getting the jump. So there you have it, working out pretty well for John, coming out in front of Wilco. So that early pit stop getting the job done, that's for sure. But back at the front, lap 11 of this race, out of however many laps we can fit in the remaining 37 minutes. But Barters, thank you, Taylor. There we have it. My daughter in the background joining us in the commentary box tonight. And look at Matterford. The battle continues between Matterford and Albert. Where is he going to get by? Matterford runs a little bit wide. That could give me a chance to get by, says Albert. But he's alongside him. Is he going to keep his foot in it here? No, he's not. And that's given Barnes an incredible run onto the old new pit straight here at Silverstone. Thank you very much for joining us. No rain to speak of. Track temperature and air temperature 21 degrees. But there's some rain in the air, we believe, but we haven't seen anything so far in this race. And I do wonder whether it would be, considering Barters, if he is getting held up, would it be smart or would it be wise to come into the pits? We don't know, get that clear air. But like you said, Bob, it depends where you come out and who you come out behind. And we've seen the undercut, John getting in front of Jason, so very clever stuff there. But we might go back through the field. There is Brian. A bit like last night. He was, I think he was in 4th or 5th last night. He was all out on his own. all on his lonesome there. Very sad indeed. Branchy 8 seconds further back behind him. Righty, the last of the drivers yet to make a pit stop. And then it's John, who's got Wilco right behind him for company. So that incident very much hurting Wilco there. He lost some time to that lead pack. So it's going to be interesting whether he can show that pace and storm back through the field here. And John getting the jump on him in the pit stop strategy. But Wilco, he's got the pace. You never know with Wilco. Is that somebody off? No, it is not. Because this lead trio now, who is going to pull the pin first? Who are we going to see into the pit stop? We said Albert.
Right, Righty is in now. And to be honest, if one of these top three do want to pit now, there's your window, because I think they would have been close to Righty. I think they've now got clean air if they choose to pit.
And it's getting very close at the front. We'll wait and see. Oh, a little bit of... Was that a bit of a nudge, Bob? That looked very close. A kiss. A kiss from Barters to Albert. There we have it. A little bit of a kiss, as Bullseye Bob likes to call it. Look how close they are. There's barely a tenth in it, Bob.
Oh, my God.
I can't even look at this. I can't even watch Matterford, Albert, and Barters all together. And I reckon the last possible threat to one of these guys making a stop, like you mentioned, Bob, was Righty. And I'm just looking further down the road. I'm pretty sure they would have clear air if one of them made a stop here. But it's so close. They're all races. That's what we love about them. And neither one wants to give in here. But Matterford now, Albert, can he make this move stick? Down the inside. Here we go. He's given him some space. All the time you need to live at a space, says Albert in the cockpit of that McLaren. He is through. I was going to say, if he couldn't get through, would it be better to just make a pit stop and be done with it? But Barters into the pits. This is very interesting now, Bob, because what has Barters? He's pulled the pin. He's come into the pits. And with these two squabbling at the front, is that going to be a masterpiece of strategy from Barters?
I think he needed to pit while Matterford was still out front. Matterford... Oh, and Albert's around!
Albert! Talk to me, Albert! Come in, Albert, he's around! He's around, and disaster for King Albert of Spain. My goodness me, I just went to Barters in the pit lane at the wrong time because Matterford right out in front of the race now, all on his own, it would seem, because Albert, I didn't manage to see what happened there, but Albert, was it coming into Maggots and Beckett's or somewhere around there, but he just lost it big time, and now surely, is he going to come straight into the pits, I wonder, because that leaves Matterford out in front by 6.9 seconds, and Isuzu Brian, without doing too much, he's up inside the top three at the moment.
He's found himself being invited into the fight.
Wow, and Voodoo says Barters should come out in front of Wilco if he gets the release correct. And Barters, here's Wilco. Where is Barters?
And Barters already out on track. He's
Barters well ahead of Wilco, isn't he? Interesting stuff there.
Wilco's spin did cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, it cost me 7 seconds. Now I'm 7. I had a little battle with John. Now I'm 7.2. So, yeah, the undercut worked until battled with John and I. But yeah, it always lost about 7 seconds in the spin.
So there we have it. Wilco explaining the situation with almost half this race gone. Branchy, what's happening with Branchy? Still in P4, 7 seconds off of Isuzu Brian. Here we go. Here we go. They're both into the pits together. So Brian down to 50 kilometres, the speed limit here at Silverstone. And Albert, the old pit lane here. Albert and Brian into the pits. Matterford on his merry way. Where is Branchy? I hear you ask, Bob. Is he coming? He's a long way off, I think, at the moment.
No, Branchy's already gone past them. I'm in with Barters now. Brian is already on the move. Brian hasn't taken... Oh, no. He's just stopped, sorry. So I'm in with Barters to see what this gap looks like.
As we've got an update on the incident which involved Albert. We'll keep this camera on Barters because will he get the undercut here on these two? That's going to be interesting. Replay shows Albert taking too much curb at the start of the S's, which led to a spin. Always risky business, that's for sure. But here comes Barters. Thank you for the updates from you, Voodoo. Barters, Branchy. Yep, he's gone through. We know that. Manafort's continuing. Brian, the drop. Albert's ahead of him. And is Barters versus Albert? I think he's ahead of him, is he?
Yes, he
Yes.
is. Yeah, but Albert's only just coming out of the pits now.
And there we have it. So Barters getting the jump on Prince Albert. We'll wait for the timing screens to correct themselves. But in 15 seconds' time, we are halfway through this race. Half an hour gone, half an hour still to go here. It's round 3, season 3, I beg your pardon, round 2 of this Tier 1 championship. Coming to you live on the KRL YouTube channel. Keep those comments coming in.
Oh no, something's happened to Brian. So he was exiting the pits, he looked as if he was coming out on track, and it looks as if he was teleported back to pits.
And Brian, spin in the pit exit. Voodoo, thank you for this. Got stuck on the wall, so he went back to the pit box. And there'll be a delay of around 1 minute until he gets released. Disaster for Brian. Absolute disaster. It was looking so good, wasn't it? He was minding his own business, Bob, and running his own race, and now he's had a terrible pit stop here, which will see him delayed for another minute or so. Here comes Branchy into the pits, Bob.
Branchy's in. Yep, Branchy's in, so it's going to be the same again. It's going to be keep an eye on Barters. Barters looks like he's got that done. I reckon that Branchy is going to come out right next to Albert and Wilco.
So this is going to be interesting. So everybody has made, barring Madaford, of course, has made their pit stop at the moment. Branchy currently in. Here comes Barters. Madaford in this lap, that is the question. Looks like it'll be dry for the remaining 30 minutes of this race, so no rain to speak of. So maybe Madaford running longer. I'm not sure why. Maybe there is no threat of rain. In fact, the track temperature has gone down to 20 degrees. Optimum track conditions here at Silverstone. And Barters, he is the big winner, isn't he, Bob? He is absolutely flying at the moment.
Yeah, so I mean he's been quite fortunate. You know, Albert with his spin, Wilco with his spin. It all depends on what Madaford can do. If he's going to start dropping time, you know, by staying out. But at the moment, I would hazard a guess that this is for Barters.
Here we go. Madaford now into the pits. That answers the question, Voodoo. Madaford into the pit lane. Is he going to get it slowed down in time? He came into the pit lane at a very rapid rate of knots there, but he's managed to get it all slowed up. So Madaford in the pits. So where is Barters? We've got Barters, Albert, and Jason now. Those two like to have a good battle, don't they? Both have had incidents in this race so far, but both now back very much in the fight. Lap 16 of this one. Let us know in the comments, who do you think will win this race tonight? It's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Still a long way to go. And Barters now, like we said, he may have been a bit fortunate. It is going to be very close indeed. And Barters just slowing up there. No, I beg your pardon. I'm just seeing things just easing off there. Here he comes. Rounding the final corner. Madaford still in the pit lane. Here comes Barters. Keep an eye on the pit lane.
He's down off the jacks.
He's down off the jacks. He's moving. He is out of the pit lane. Here comes Barters. It's going to be mighty close, I reckon. Where is he?
They're going to be alongside.
Look at this.
Oh, no.
Barters has the inside line, Alex, that thinks better of it. Thank goodness for that. But how close was that, Madaford? Although Barters has got the pace, everything up to temperature. Madaford just out of the pit lane. So is this the best possible opportunity to attack? Bob, can he get a move done here straight away?
He needs to... oh, dear God. he needs to resemble a Spitfire coming in for a swoop. And there he goes.
There he goes, swooping.
How has he held that?
Swooping on his prey. He was carrying all sorts of pace into there, but he's managed to hold onto it, Bob. And Matterford not done with yet. How good is this battle? They've both made their stops. Everyone's made their pit stops here tonight. And it is Barters leading this race by 0.100. Less than a tenth. We've lost somebody off the timing sheets. I'm not sure who it was, but we're down to 7 drivers now still going around this circuit. And Barters with his nose in front. Matterford. This is like...
Matterford is so late on the brakes.
So late on the brakes. You mentioned like a Spitfire battle back in the skies over Great Britain in World War II. Yes. And we won, didn't we, Bob? Yes. Those pesky Germans. And Barters still leading this race. Righty dropping off. Maybe he had another spin. The replay will not tell the Nigerian Prince anything at all. But thank you for keeping us updated. Voodoo in the pit lane. We hope that foot is getting better, Voodoo. And we are thinking of you. And those beautiful graphics, thumbnails, championship boards, everything else you see is thanks to that man, Voodoo. Don't forget, jump over to V is for Voodoo and check out some of his work. Fantastic stuff on YouTube, Twitch, you name it. He's doing very nicely. And I tell you something else, Albert's not too far off this battle either. We could get a bit of deja vu here,
right.
Bob. They could be back all over each other very shortly.
Yes, a bit of ménage à trois. I think it's going to get steamy.
Very steamy.
I'm friggin' steamy at the moment. I'm sweating like a pig. I haven't raced in ages.
Oh, Matterford nearly up the arse of Barters there. Did you see that, Bob? Because that was very, very interesting. I think he outbraked himself going down into Stowe. And now the Prince, the King of Spain, is all over the back of him as Bullmeister says Matterford should have Barters by the end. So that's interesting because there is still plenty of time in this race. Thank you, Bullmeister. Let us know in the comments. Well, he sort of has, hasn't he? He's answered that question already. He reckons Matterford should have this one. Barters by the end of the race. He should have this move done. And Wilco not too far off the back of this pack. These three squabbling at the front. It could be a bit of a reset here, Bob. We could see the exact same thing again. Lap 17 of this race. It is Barters leading Matterford. I think we had 10 starters, or was it 9 starters? I'm not too sure, but only 7 are left in this race. And the important thing is that the top 3 are all within roughly a second or so of each other. Wilco gaining all sorts of time here. Down there in 4th. John, who is he going to make a move on Branchy? Well, in fact, I think he's made that move on Branchy through. There's battles right through the field here, Bob, because John is ahead of Branchy now. Thunder down there in 7th. He will get some points. He's just got to keep it on the road. Branchy and John, I beg your pardon. Look at this battle for P5. So, wow. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah,
great battle here.
They're not leaving much out there, are they? It's good to see that you're still scrapping that hard, you know, 2/3 of the way through the race. It's great.
So still 22 minutes remaining and the battle.
Barters had a massive mistake.
Barters has had a massive mistake. Thank you, Wilco.
I just saw gravel everywhere.
And Matterford, oh, they touch! And Barters, I thought he was going to spin around. He comes back onto the track. No harm done there, thankfully. But now Albert is all over the back of him. And, well, you were spot on, Bullmeister, because I reckon he's had him there. They made contact coming down the hanger straight, and now he is gone from 1st to 3rd, Bob, in the space of 3 or so corners.
Yeah, I think he may have just overstretched his tyres a little bit. The Lambo is a little bit finicky for its tyre temps and pressures. Also, it must be a bit daunting when you see how late on the brakes the McLarens can be in comparison. So maybe that's just sort of playing in the back of his mind, and he may have just overcooked it a little bit into one of the tighter sectors.
And Barter's now, after losing the lead, losing first, losing second, is he going to lose third place here? Because he's falling back into the clutches of a very, very sweaty Wilco, who will have a point to prove. He wants to be on that podium here tonight, and Barter's still with it all to do. Let's keep an eye on John, who's made up plenty of time, hasn't he? Or has he? No, Branchy back up to
No,
fifth.
he's just dropped. Yeah,
He's
just dropped back behind Branchy again.
Dropped a few seconds. Branchy, the rear end stepping out there a little bit, but no harm done. So he is onto the main straight through to complete lap number 19. Or starting lap number 19, I should say. Manafort is on the lead lap. Branchy then in fifth. John in sixth. Aussie Thunder now 1 lap down in 7th position. So let's go back to the front. And it's all back to where we started. You can see these two, Manafort and Albert, were 1 and 2 on the grid. Barters was in third. Wilco was in fourth. So the top 4 as they started in this race. But for how long? Because here comes Albert. Let me by. You can hear the Spanish inside his helmet, inside that number 9 McLaren saying, let me by, Matterford. Come on, man, let me by. And here he goes. Is he going to put a nose up the inside? No. But what is Wilco doing back there? You can see him in the background of all this. He's biding his time. And that is going to be close, is it? No, Albert couldn't quite get a move done there, but it's just a matter of time, you feel. It's just a mistake. If he just locks a wheel, goes slightly wide, I reckon Albert's going to have him here, Bob.
Yeah, it's very tight. Just to update on what happened with John and Branchy. So John got it slightly wrong through Maggots and Beckett's, and he just let Branchy back up the inside, but I'm sure he'll gather that back up, and he'll give chase again. But it's hard to leave this battle at the front, to be honest.
And we know there is other action happening further down the field, but like you said, it's impossible to take our eyes off this lead battle. It is Matterford. Just recapping, if you're joining us, 20 laps gone in this race, still plenty of time remaining. But boy, the pressure that Matterford is under then from his teammate Albert, who is of course the championship leader. You can see there on your screen, Albert, P1 in the Drivers' Championship on 30 points. And he is a very, very tricky customer here. It looks like Albert's a lot closer this time. He pulls out alongside Matterford. Has he got a nose in front? We saw an incident there with Barters on the last lap. But Albert can't quite get it done in equal machinery, of course. Both the same cars. Albert decides to send it down the outside. Are they going to touch? No, this is so close. So nicely, respectfully done. Out of my way, please. Look at this. Albert's got his nose in front, and has he kept it in front? Yes, he has, Bob. He's managed to get through there.
Yeah, no, that was... He set that up. It was pretty similar to the way that Barder's set him up. Just showing yourself in the one mirror and, just getting it done 2 corners later, because you're forcing someone into a compromised line.
So there we have it. Great move, very clean. Both drivers leaving space, and now Matterford on the back foot somewhat. And is that going to give Barters another chance to get through? Let's have a look. Barters, is he going to send it? No. He pulls out of that move, but we've got a good old-fashioned dogfight on our hands here. And if you're just joining us, and if we haven't told you 100 times already, here we are at Silverstone, formerly a World War II airfield, and yes, we do have a dogfight on our hands here. Ah, yes, tally-ho, old boy. Albert in front now by almost a second. Matterford, Barters, and don't forget about that man, Wilco, in P4. And I think that's pretty much it, because Branchy, it's saying on the timing screens that he's 1 lap down. No, 13 seconds, I beg your pardon. And then it is John still going around the track along with Thunder now. Just 2.2 seconds behind John. You can see that gap between Thunder and John. So like we keep saying, battles right throughout the field, but Albert is streaking away at the front with 16 minutes remaining. So we're getting to the business end of this race, that's for sure. No rain has come our way. And don't forget, thank you for reminding the good people watching this stream to vote for your driver of the day. Qualifying was Matterford, Albert, Barders, Wilco, John, Righty, Branchy, Brian, Butler, Binger, all the Bs, and then Aussie Thunder now, who's gone from 11th to 7th. 11 drivers started this race, 7 are left, including Thunder right at the back now. That gap, 2 seconds between him and John, but the battle is at the front. Very good for this team. I don't know what their team name is, Bob, but boy, they're going to get some handy points here tonight for the Constructors' Championship as well.
Yeah, if they stay where they are at the moment, that's brilliant for the team points. Yeah, it's a shame. There's not many complete teams still left out there, is there? So these boys are taking it home.
They sure are.
John and Barders are teams too.
So
By
John,
the way, the team name for Matterford and Albert is Team McTappis Racing.
Yes, a bit of Mac Tappis.
All coming together.
It's
Who's
all
that?
coming together.
Crash in the background.
Sorry, I thought you said we've got a yellow flag out now. I thought when you said it was coming together, I thought you meant the whole team, the team name, the 1 and 2. It's all coming together, all right. But we've had somebody off.
No, sorry. Yeah, it was John and Ozzy had a bit of a coming together. I'll just jump in the replay now and just quickly try and find out what happened.
So
But it
John,
looks like John has pulled up.
so John is facing the wrong way on the track. If he just, oh no, he's not moving. He's not moving, Bob. That usually means he's finding that return to garage button. Let's have a look. We'll get Bob. You are looking at the replay. Thunder's gone through.
Is there damage?
And there looks to be a little bit of damage on the front of Aussie Thunder's car. And John is he's still out there on the track. So has he got damage? Can he keep going in this race?
He may have had a controller disconnect. I've just seen him pop up in the in-game chat. So,
and we've got the leaders about to come through here too, I think. No, he's gone now. So he's out of the way. He was sort of sitting there facing the wrong way, wasn't he? And this leading pack was coming through. But now we are down to 6 drivers left running in this race. As Voodoo says, John spun on the grass. And unfortunately, Ozzy came by him and came into it. And those two weren't, thank you for that, Voodoo, those two weren't too far apart, were they, Bob? I think it was only a couple of seconds when we checked on them a moment ago. So
yeah, no, it looks strange. It's not a line that I'd have ever seen John take. I reckon he's had a bit of an equipment malfunction, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me when I watched it. It seemed a bit weird. He was holding one line and then all of a sudden it was almost beelining out to the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, it just didn't look right at all.
So there we have
Unless he was reaching for the esky.
That could be a possibility. It is time for a beer at the moment, Albert. Won't be getting into that tapas just yet because it is lap 23 of this race. And he's 1.1 seconds ahead of his teammate. Matterford in P2, Barders in P3. Then is Jason Wilkinson up there in P4. So still very close indeed. As these getting a few messages here from the Indians. Manesh Pandey, thank you. Hello to you, Manesh, over there in India. So everybody watching, wherever you are, right around the world, 12 minutes. A dozen or so minutes left in this race. It is lap 23 of this one, but it is still not over, Bob, yet, because 1.3 seconds is all that separates Albert and Matterford, who are going to clean up here for McTapas Racing. God, that's a great name, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. And then Barter's in third, but Wilco is looking for a podium, because he's only got Branchy, who's 11 seconds further down the road, and it's not going to worry Wilco too much. But you can't help but think, if Wilco didn't have that spin, where would he be at the moment, Bob?
Well, judging by how close they all are at the moment, Wilco would be out front. Obviously,
Don't rub salt in
Albert
the
had
wound,
his
please, boys.
spin as well. But
Salt. Run
yeah,
out of talent.
Yeah,
yes,
Yep. Ambition before adhesion, I think usually is what Martin says, doesn't he? And then you just run out of road and out of talent. God, it's awkward doing a British accent in front of in front of Bob. But anyway, there we have it. So a bit over 10 minutes. Sorry, Bob, I cut across you there. Were you about to say something?
no. It was all related. It was all trying to rub salt in the wounds.
There we have it. So YouTube maintaining a smooth stream. Hopefully, let us know in the comments if the stream's still coming through nice and smooth. There we have it. We might just pause that so we've got a bit of a better quality of stream. Voodoo says, so far I think I have Madaford for my driver of the day. Plenty of battles he had to defend, great sportsmanship to hold his lines, and that coming from a two-time champion, of course, in Voodoo. And GRT, last night's Tier 2 winner, says Albert Einstein, if he stays out in front, is my driver of the day. Let's find out what the word for victory is in Spanish. I'm sure that he will soon tell us, Albert, if he can hold on to the lead. We are under 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes remaining in this race. And boy, oh boy, it is still not over. And victory in Spanish, Victoria. That is fantastic stuff. There we go. Wait a second. Let me just... Victoria. So that is what he will be thinking at the moment.
For a hard-earned thirst, there's a big cold beer.
Oh, yes. Don't we absolutely love it. Victoria. I'm going to just slip that one in there if I can in the post-race press conference as well. Because Albert, now it's less than a second though, Bob. Do not count the tapas chickens. Don't count the tapas before they hatch. Help me out here, Bob, because this is not over yet though, is it? Less than a second here.
No, yeah, these two. I mean, the McLaren just seems to do funny things. I mean, 1 minute it looks like dead cert, the next minute it looks like they're, back scrapping again. What is their saving grace though is they've got 3 seconds back to Barders, so these two keep it nice and clean. I think this is going to go all the way to the end.
It is going to go all the way to the end. Será. That is close in Spanish. I'm going to shut down that Google Translate now because 25 laps have been completed now. Albert maintaining the pace out in front. 8 minutes remaining. That rain has stayed away. Thankfully, Bob, you're the man from this part of the world, and rain never too far away in the UK, but it's managed to hold off here tonight. Barders in third for now. And Wilco, what's going on there? Are you making any inroads into this third place, or is Barders just maintaining that gap?
He's maintaining, but I'm catching heaps on the brakes, so you watch how much I'll gain through this little section here, and then under brakes, but then he just pulls away again.
So there we have it. So maintaining that gap there. Let's just have a look. Keep those comments coming in. GRT, Voodoo, Bullmeister. Let us know your drivers or driver of the day, I beg your pardon. So 7 minutes now remaining. We're getting to the business end here. And it is still only, 4 or 5 seconds separating the top 4 guys. We had 11 start the race, down to 6 now. And Aussie Thunder, who's done reasonably okay, got in a tangle with John, but 11th to 6th so far, and if he can stay there, I think he finished 5th last night, so not a bad effort this week from this man, Tier 2 and Tier 1, Aussie Thunder, who's going to get some points, a little bit of damage, or a lot of damage on the front of that Merc, which I'm assuming is from that incident with John, but he's still in P6. And, of course, we had the sprint round points down to 8, so tonight it's back to points for the top 10. So, what's that, 8 points, I think, for Aussie Thunder, P6? So I think, yeah, roughly going off the F1 style point system. So 26 laps having been completed here, and Matterford, and he's hanging in there, isn't he, Bob? He's hanging in there, and he's still in the mirrors, not giving Albert any chance to relax with 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, no, neither one of these two can afford to take their foot off. It's been intriguing. Actually, Madderford is actually later on the brakes than Albert, so you do see the gap yo-yoing a little bit throughout the lap.
So there we have it, Barters. Don't forget about him in the background, Wilco as well. But we are coming to the end almost of this race with 5.5 minutes remaining. What have we got here? 2 more laps, maybe? We might get 28 laps in here, maybe 2 more. We might just wait and see. What is it, 2 minutes or so? What is it, 2 minutes a lap, I think? Something like that?
They're back down into the 159s, these two out front. So they are actually turning in some really good lap times at the tail end of this race. So yeah, I reckon we might see another 3 laps.
Another 3 laps. Let's take a look from a different perspective here. We might see what Albert's looking. Let's have a look here. We might jump on board now with a bird's eye view. That is what we can see in Albert's mirrors, and you can see there his last lap, a 1:59.592. So like you said, Bob, they are well and truly into the 59s. Best lap of a 1:59.022 as we come through Maggots and Beckett's now. And look at that, Matterford still behind him there. The gap less than a second, but like you said, Bob, he's just managing to creep ever closer then, and then Albert seems to pull away. But it is 8:02 local time here at Silverstone. The rain, it's been cloudy right since the start of this race, but we still haven't seen any rain to speak of. And boy, Matterford then, and this just gives you an idea of the pressure that Albert is under here. And you can see Barters and Wilco now dropping back a little bit here from this lead pack, or this lead duo, I should say. Teammates for the McTapas racing team, and they're going to collect a huge haul of points here for the Constructors' Championship. And now across, here we go. And you can see there, like you said, Bob, Matterford, he gets close, doesn't he, through that middle part of the lap, and then he manages to he just drops back ever so slightly. But the gap's still very close. It's very close indeed. I thought he was going to have a go there, but I was mistaken, Bob. Here he goes. Can he manage to do something here with 3.5 left in the race?
Yeah, I thought that the way it was panning out, it looked as if Matterford was always stronger through Sector 1, and then Sector 2 and 3 were Albert's, but we're into the 3rd sector now, and Matterford is climbing all over the back of him.
All over the back of his teammate. Let us know in the comments who is going to win this battle between the Tapas boys. And I've got to say, no team orders there. And what's the lap time? He's gone a couple of tenths quicker, so you can tell, can't you, that he's really absolutely on it. He runs a little bit wide. Is that going to give Matterford a chance here? No. But that last time around a 1:59.3, so they cannot afford to slacken off here whatsoever. And Matterford is off, I think.
Oh.
Is Matterford off the track?
He's gathered it up.
He's gathered it up, but is that going to give Barters? No, I don't think Barters or Wilco are in the picture here, are they? Because they've dropped back by a few extra seconds. So Matterford, that could be it, Bob. That could be it. Albert is well and truly on his way to Victoria here tonight. Victoria better. And a hard-earned thirst, a hard-earned victory needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Not sure what you guys have over there in WA, Bob. What are we... Oh, Matterford just almost getting it all wrong again there. So for 58.5 minutes, it's all been pretty smooth for Matterford. But now, just at that crucial time, it's all about that concentration, Bob. And he's dropped back 2.5 seconds. So I reckon now this is Albert's race to lose.
Yeah, so maybe Wilco can let us know. Does the McLaren get a little bit twitchy on light fuel? I mean, when you were in qualifying, it looked twitchy. Is your car twitchy just now?
Yeah, but I think it's probably because I pushed so hard on my tyres. A little bit slippery now, but yeah, it's a funny car. It's a bit inconsistent sometimes. So it's good under brakes most of the time. Sometimes the ABS system will kick in, or you'll pinch a front. Other times the rear end just gets a little bit snappy through change direction. So coming out of the F1 turn 2 and 3, coming through that section, that right left, it's always a little bit sketchy. I've had a couple of big moments through there, just picking up the power and getting the brakes back on. So change direction is not that good. So tracks like Alton Park and stuff, it struggles, but high speed, it's really good.
Here we go.
Yeah, no, that's the way I was reading it. It just looks a tiny bit skittish when she's light.
There we have it. So I think we've got the call. I think Bob, race control leader, is on the final lap. So now just 2-3 kilometres, a few corners separates this man who was the championship leader coming into tonight. He did very nicely in the sprint rounds last week at Brands Hatch, and he's continuing his good form. He'll extend that championship lead out by a fair margin as we head to Donington before the season break. Donington for round 3 of this British GT Championship. And boy, oh boy, he's not home yet, but he's almost there, isn't he? Let's have a look. Let's bring this man home. We'll quickly go through the field. 29 laps too, Bob. So a very long race, 29 laps around this course. Matterford will take second place. Barters is in third, so Wilco will miss out on that podium. And if you work out, what was it, 7 or 8 seconds I think Wilco lost in that spin? That would put him right up there, wouldn't it, with this man, Albert? But here he comes now. He's almost home to win here at Silverstone, the endurance round of this Tier 1 Championship. Victory for this man, Albert. He comes out of the final corner, through the last corner, lights flashing. He is going to be our winner here tonight for round 2 of this championship. There we have it, the checkered flag out. Albert wins, Matterford in second, great result for him, Barnes in third, and then it is the man Nibbles crossing the line for P4. Branchy is he a lap down? No, Branchy's still on the lead lap, I beg your pardon. He will come through to finish in 5th, 10 points for Branchy, good stuff, extending his good form and keeping that championship gap close to Albert. As we head into round 3, and Aussie Thunder, good result for him, good performance. I think he finished 5th last night, and he's finished 6th tonight from 11th on the grid. But wow, 30 laps. What a race we have witnessed here. It was close from start to finish, wasn't it, Bob? There was no chance at all to relax right throughout the course of that race. It was a hot, hot pace here tonight.
Yeah, no, very good pace to complete 30 laps in a 60-minute race. No, that's some good pace all the way through. It wasn't without incident. You know, everyone did have a couple of close shaves, and to me, you know, you've got to take your hats off to Branchy and Aussie. Obviously, they had a few more incidents, but they've stuck with it and they've brought home some decent points today.
Great stuff, and what does that do for the championship? Barters it was coming home in 3rd place tonight. So Matterford sort of between him and Albert. So that's going to give Albert a chance to extend that championship lead. As we see a few donuts here, like you said, Bob, it wasn't a race without incident. As I've heard my voice very loud in the background there, but the donuts are starting. We're going to get our top three inside to have a chat with us here at the podium. 30 laps completed, and it was Albert taking victory. Matterford, I can hear my own voice there in the background. Is that me?
Really?
Is that me?
Yeah. Oh, good.
Not sure what's happening.
Yeah, I think as the party increased, it caused some echoing.
There we have it. So it is Albert, just recapping, in P1, Matterford in P2, Barners in P3. I think we're going to have a chat with them soon. We'll get
They're all
Voodoo.
here, all three of them.
All three of them. Have we got Albert in the party already, Albert?
Yeah.
Good stuff, mate. Talk us through that, mate. The pressure was on, but you came home, mate. You got the moves done you needed to, and you took Victoria here tonight. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a really intense race. Good fun with Motherford parties, Wilco as well. The first half an hour was crazy, which is trading places. Well, I think Motherford was just chilling at the front, but
chilling.
well, yeah, not chilling, but yeah, Gran Carrera. Yeah, thank you. Is that your wife? Anyway, yeah. So I stopped after the when I overtook Motherford. I made that mistake, and I thought the race was over. But I think later Bartes and Motherford started fighting, so that helped me catch up. And yeah, at the end I made the move and won. Really, really happy. Good race.
Great stuff, mate. And you extend your championship lead, of course, over Barters, I think, with Matterford finishing between you two. So all looking good, mate. Great start of the season as we head into round 3.
Cheers, Tribe. Yeah, and well done to my teammate Motherford as well. He's done an amazing race and that pole position, so good job, man.
Great stuff. Thank
Cheers.
you for that. There we have it. So thank you. Moving along to your teammate. It does sound a little bit like my wife, actually. That's oh no, I've been disconnected from the server, but we'll keep pushing on. Matterford, mate, have you got us there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good stuff, mate. Talk us through that race tonight. You couldn't get the win in the end, but still some great battles there right throughout the race.
Oh yeah, was pretty lucky to get pole. Was a bit surprised, and then yeah, for the first half an hour having Wilco, Albert, and Barters right behind me, it was a bit stressful trying to keep them behind, and thought I'd get a gap, and then they'll catch back up, and then yeah, had a quick battle with Albert for the last 20 minutes. I think we're doing pretty quality times pretty much for about 3 or 4 laps, but in the end he just pulled away. So no, it was a good battle. Happy with second.
Congratulations, mate. Great race for you tonight. It was a hectic pace. 60-minute race, 30 laps, I think, completed in the end, but well done on P2.
Cheers.
So there we have it. That's the McTapas boys taking maximum points here for the championship. Barters, mate, P3 for you tonight. Talk us about your race and what happened here.
Yeah, mate, I don't think I had the pace tonight against these boys in the McLaren, to be honest. So I just tried to make a pest of myself wherever I could. And hopefully some of that got caught in the stream because there was some pretty good racing in there.
Good stuff, mate.
Round the outside again, mate.
We saw a few of those moves, mate. They were pretty impressive stuff. But congratulations, mate. P3, you're still right up there in the championship, so you never know what could happen in the coming rounds. Well done.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
There we have it. So well, that is it. Wilco, we might get a quick comment from you. I know you went in the top 3, mate, but a bit of an incident there early on, but you managed to get it together for P4.
Yeah, as I said in the, I ran out of talent. Just hit a curb and yeah, it's had a big spin. But yeah, it's definitely an awesome race. Probably one of the best races I've had. So yeah, good race with those 3 boys. We're off to Donington for a sprint race next week. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check.
Yep, Donington Park. Got the season calendar up in front of me here.
Yeah, round 3,
Yep.
Donington sprint. So sprint race next week at Donington. So that should be very interesting. But yeah, Albert 3 starts, 3 wins. It's looking good for Alberto.
It certainly is. As I try and find out what perfect is in Spanish, I'm sure it'd be quicker to get Albert to tell me, but we're almost out of time here.
Perfecto.
Perfecto. Ah, yes, don't you love
Very
that?
easy.
Perfecto. And we hope you've had a brilliant night tonight of action. It's been a long one, but thanks for sticking with us. Ballmeister GRT, last night's winner, of course. Voodoo, thank you for all of your updates, all of your work, and just being generally brilliant. The Nigerian Prince doing very nicely once again. Thank you, Wilco. Thank you, Bob, for being alongside me tonight.
No, thanks for having me again. Very enjoyable, exciting race tonight. Interested to see what's going to happen in the rest of the Tier 1 season.
Going to be, we can't wait. Don't forget, you can see on your screen next week at Donington. Then we're off for a season break back at Spa, Snetterton, Alton Park, and then coming back to Donington for the season finale. That's it. That's a wrap from us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring this to you. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next week for Donington. Bye for now.